The rain hadn't stopped for 3 days. The small town of Ridgefield was drowning under gray skies and muddy streets, its people weighed down by silence and hardship. Among them was Lucas Reed, a single father who lived in a small wooden cabin on the outskirts of town. Life had never been gentle to him. His wife had passed away 5 years earlier, leaving behind their son Noah, who was now 9. Lucas worked endless hours at an auto repair shop, earning just enough to pay rent and keep food on the table. That cold evening, Lucas was driving home in his old pickup truck when he noticed the wreckage. A sleek black sedan had slammed into a tree on the roadside, smoke rising from its hood. He stopped instantly, heart racing. Inside was a boy around Noah's age, unconscious, blood streaking down his forehead. The driver, a man in a suit, was shouting desperately into his phone. "Please, you must hurry, he's not breathing," the man cried. Lucas rushed toward them. "What happened?" he asked. The man turned, panic flooding his eyes. "He's my boss's son. He stopped breathing a few minutes ago. The ambulance is coming, but I don't think he'll make it." Lucas's hands trembled as he checked the boy's pulse. Nothing. Without hesitation, he laid the boy on the wet ground and started chest compressions. He counted under his breath, pushing harder until his arms ached. The rain poured heavier, soaking them both. Then Lucas breathed into the boy's mouth once, twice, and suddenly the boy gasped. The driver broke into tears of relief. Sirens wailed in the distance. Lucas stepped back, shivering. "He's breathing. Keep him warm." The ambulance arrived moments later. Paramedics hurried the boy inside. One of them looked at Lucas and said, "You saved him, sir. If you hadn't stepped in, he wouldn't have survived." Lucas nodded weakly, exhausted, and walked back to his truck. He didn't know who the boy was, or that this one act of courage would change his life completely. 3 days later, Lucas's phone rang while he was at work. The voice on the line was calm but firm. "Mr. Reed, this is St. Helena Private Hospital. The family of the boy you rescued wishes to meet you. Transportation will be arranged." Lucas hesitated. "Transportation?" But before he could ask further, the line went dead. That evening, as the sky turned orange, the sound of helicopter blades echoed above the town. People stepped out of shops to see it land near the square. A tall woman in a gray coat emerged, her face hidden behind dark sunglasses. She walked straight up to Lucas. "Mr. Reed?" she asked. "Yes," he replied, uneasy. "I'm Clara Wells, assistant to Mr. William Grant," she said. "You saved his son's life. Mr. Grant would like to meet you." Lucas followed her into the helicopter, his heart pounding. He had heard of William Grant, the billionaire owner of Grant Industries, whose wealth was almost mythic. Now Lucas was flying toward his mansion. When they arrived, he couldn't believe his eyes. The estate was breathtaking. Rolling lawns, marble fountains, guards at every entrance. Inside, the air was silent, almost hauntingly still. Clara led him into a room where a boy sat on a bed connected to monitors. The boy smiled faintly when he saw Lucas. "You're the man who saved me," he said softly. Lucas nodded. "I just did what anyone would do." Behind the boy stood a tall man in a dark suit, his face drawn and weary, eyes red. This was William Grant. "Mr. Reed," Grant said, stepping forward. "The doctors told me if you hadn't acted, my son, my only son, would be gone. I owe you everything." Lucas shifted uncomfortably. "You don't owe me anything, sir. I'm just glad he's okay." But Grant shook his head. "You don't understand. My son had been in and out of hospitals for months before the crash. No one could figure out what was wrong. He wasn't expected to live to his next birthday. But after you revived him, something changed." "Changed?" Lucas asked. Grant nodded slowly. "The doctors say his heart is stronger. His immune system is recovering. It's as if you gave him something no medicine could." Lucas didn't know what to say. He looked at the boy, who smiled again, and felt a strange warmth stirring deep inside him. That night, Grant invited Lucas to dinner. The mansion glowed with candlelight. Servants moved quietly across polished floors. But beneath the beauty, tension hung in the air. Clara watched Lucas closely as though studying him. After dinner, she approached quietly. "You should know something," she said. "The boy was clinically dead for 2 minutes. When he woke, he kept repeating your son's name." Lucas froze. "Noah?" he whispered. "Yes," Clara said softly.
He said, "Noah told me to come back." Lucas's heart thudded.
His own son had been born with a heart condition. Doctors once said he might not live long. For years, Lucas prayed every night for a miracle. Recently, Noah's symptoms had started fading, almost as if something unseen had changed. I don't understand, Lucas murmured. Neither do I, Clara replied. But Mr. Grant believes something connects your son and his. The next morning, William Grant offered Lucas a fortune, enough to change his life completely. But Lucas refused. I didn't do it for money, he said quietly. I did what I hoped someone would do for my boy. Grant nodded, speechless. Before Lucas left, the billionaire said gently, "If you ever need help, you have my word. You'll never be alone." Weeks went by. News spread everywhere. A billionaire's son saved by a poor mechanic. Lucas returned to his quiet life, though nothing felt the same. One night, as he tucked Noah into bed, the boy looked up and whispered, "Dad, that boy you saved, I saw him." Lucas froze. "What do you mean?" Noah said, "In my dream. He was lost and crying. I told him to go back. I told him his dad still needed him." Lucas's breath caught. "And what happened then?" he asked. Noah smiled sleepily. "Then I woke up. Outside in the distance, Lucas heard the faint hum of a helicopter passing through the night. He walked to the window, watching it vanish into the clouds, his heart heavy yet full. Maybe some things couldn't be explained by science or money. Maybe miracles were born from love and from a single act of kindness that reached farther than anyone could ever see.